you kill one people, you're a murderer. You kill, millions. It's like, congratulations, sir. Wow.
Exactly. We have this weird, like agreed upon reality where we just don't think of certain murders as murders.
Right. And one of those, and before we move on, and the reason I really wanted to just talk about this story is because there's so many interesting angles, but there is some amount of discussion of vigilante violence that is allowed on mainstream news, and that is when it's vigilante violence committed against poor people or people of color or people who are protesting in the streets, a la Kyle Rittenhouse. And so briefly, this is like what's being talked about on CNN by this right-wing douchebag. I don't know his name.
Let me just help you understand. If you're on the American left tonight, here's my chart. The good guys today, Daniel Penny. The bad guys, Luigi Mangione. It seems to me.
How do you?
Everybody
what's
on the
the
left,
chart for victims?
I'm just telling you what I see out in the world.
I know.
What
I just want you to finish the
today.
chart.
Ooh, good chart there.
What he was telling us, that's what we should believe?
Right. That he's basically, it's very simple. Daniel Penny, good. Luigi Mangione, bad. Now, who is Daniel Penny?
What a stupid guy. What a stupid guy. What a dumb person. His brain doesn't work correctly. I don't know what his name is, the right-wing commentator there, but he got it backwards deliberately. And the Luigi was not a left-wing guy. He's just sort of maybe like Darth Vader decided to do something good at the very end.
Take out one. So this is the thing about Daniel Penny, right? Daniel Penny is a former military. He was on a New York City subway, and street performer Jordan Neely, who was a Michael Jackson impersonator who had been in the busking scene for a very long time, was having a mental breakdown in an episode, and for 6 minutes, Penny held him in a chokehold until he was dead. And a jury of 12 people just acquitted him, completely acquitted him. And so you're seeing things, not just obviously on CNN, but on Fox News, the whiplash with who we venerate when they kill someone we think doesn't deserve to live is wild.
We'll dig into it later. The Instagram posts from nutbag people, which I was sent in the commercial break earlier, crazy. Like, he's cute, and people celebrating this. This is a sickness. Honestly, it's so disappointing, but I guess we shouldn't be surprised. Gentlemen, thank you so much. And up next, the other big news out of New York, Daniel Penny. A lot of people think he's a hero, and tonight he's not guilty. My take next.
A lot of people think he's a hero.
Yeah, it's Lauren Ingraham, right? Is that
Ingram,
Laura or Laura? I don't know which one it is. She's also doesn't think correctly. These right-wing sickos from Fox News and other right-wing institutions, they love violence. They cheer for violence, and my entire life they've done this. You tune in, catch up what they're talking about. They're always advocating some violence against some oppressed people overseas or in our country. Mm-hmm. And they cheer for it, and they call themselves correct heroes and gloat when they win and when they do commit violence. And one of many examples is Kyle Rittenhouse arming himself and going and deliberately attacking peaceful protesters. That kind of thing happens all over American politics at different times, where right-wing lunatics go and attack left-wing nonviolent protesters, or even just go spray bear spray in the faces of people in Portland, Oregon who look
or
liberal.
Themselves. Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah.
And
the dissonance, we're not supposed to point it out. We're not supposed to point out the similarities or how desensitized we are to some of this vigilante murder and how desensitized we are to gun violence. And when the New York Post has exactly this, target CEOs, the chilling manifesto, it's not fucking chilling. We just told you it was a run-of-the-mill Bernie Sanders speech. And on the right, enough is enough. Daniel Penny not guilty. Yay.
That image right there is very telling. The New York Post, and it's a great summary that should be taught in the future after the American Civil War. That the New York Post, a lunatic right-wing idiot magazine, on the front page says left-wing guy who killed someone bad, right-wing guy who killed someone good.
Yep.
And that's going to be the establishment narrative, because there are no left-wing billionaires. So the right wing owns the media, and then the centrist media collapses to them all the time. So
Right. And
that's
we're
going
gonna
to
look
be
at
the
that.
major neighbor. That's going to be the narrative, and no one brings up in the mainstream media that the vast majority of political violence in this country is committed by right wing
Yes.
actors.
Yes.
Far more than any
Far
left wing
more.
violence or any religious violence. The vast majority is right wing violence, but it doesn't get covered that way. Anything that could possibly be penned on the left is covered out of proportion to the actual statistics. I'm not making this up. I'm one of the few people who remembers to say it, because unfortunately I have the problem where I can't forget things that I read.
How dare you? Yes, unlike most Americans who have
the right wing in
memory hole
America
things.
is far more violent, and their violence is far less publicized. So they keep getting away with it.
Right. And also don't blame. Look, it's not leftists, so-called, who are celebrating this. It really is people who are not celebrating, but you know what I mean, who are like, damn, dude, like I'm like, who are crassly and fairly glib about it. It's because we all pay too much for healthcare. We've all been snubbed. We've all been on hold while like our medication that we desperately need tomorrow has been withheld from us. We've all had it, or we've been bankrupt, or we've had relatives kill themselves, because they didn't want to bankrupt our families. Like it's on and on and on. And we're just supposed to kind of deal with it. And so it is really, I said it on Friday, it's socialism or barbarism, baby. And we've said it a million times. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.